Then good fortune came my way. And gosh, who can explain sometimes good fortune, why something remarkable happens to you at a particular time? I don't know. I'm an amateur on life, I guess, like most of us. One of my friends says, however, things don't just happen. Things happen just. And maybe that's it, I don't know. But my good fortune was, when I was 25 years old, I met a very rich, wealthy man. His name was Mr. Schultz, Mr. Earl Schultz. A friend of mine had gone to work for him. And he started telling me about this man. He said, you got to meet this man I've gone to work for. He's rich, but he's easy to talk to. He's got a unique philosophy of life. And he kept going on, and I thought, well, gosh, I've got to meet this man. So shortly after that, I had a chance to meet this Mr. Schultz, and I was impressed. He was rich, and he was easy to talk to. Within a few minutes, I was dazzled. I thought to myself, I'd give anything if I could be like him. What would it take to be rich and easy to talk to, have a unique philosophy of life? And then I thought, if I could just get around somebody like him, he'd teach me, coach me. I'd learn it all, I'd do it all. And that was my good fortune. A few months later, this wealthy man hired me, gave me a job, and I went to work for him. Spent 5 years in his employ. And then, unfortunately, he died at age 49. But I got to spend 5 years, his last 5, and the first 5 years of my new life with this wealthy man, and sure enough, my dream came true. He coached me, he taught me. He taught me the books to read. He taught me the disciplines. He taught me the skills. He taught me the changes to make in my language and personality. And the things he shared with me during that 5 years revolutionized my life. Changed my income, changed my bank account, changed my future. Unbelievable. By the time I was 31, I was a millionaire. So he taught me economics as well. So how lucky can you get, right? At the good time in your life to meet the right person who's willing to share, especially somebody that's successful and accomplished. You know, a lot of rich people, right, aren't that interested in sharing how they do it. And some might be interested, but you don't have the capacity or the ability or the language. But I was fortunate to find somebody at a good time in my life who was willing to share and also had the ability to put it into language that I could understand. And I made those changes, and it just revolutionized my life. I wish Mr. Schultz was still alive today. If he was, I'm sure I'd be calling him one more time today and thanking him for those years I got to spend and what he did for me. But anyway, how I really got here. 30 plus years ago, I was living in Beverly Hills. And a friend of mine one day said, Jim, I'd like to have you come and tell your story to my service club that I belong to. He belonged to the Rotary Club. He said, you know, we invite people to come, tell their story. He said, if I arrange one of our breakfast meetings, would you come and share your story? Idaho farm boy makes it to Beverly Hills. He said, I think they'd love to hear it. I said, okay. So he arranged this breakfast meeting, and I went and told my story. And guess what? They liked it. And my telephone rings. Another club called and said, we heard about your story. Would you come share that story with us? And I said, okay. My telephone rings. And another one says, we've heard about your story. If we arranged a luncheon meeting, would you come tell your story? And I said, okay. First thing I know, I'm starting to devote a little piece of my business time to telling my story and enjoying it very much. Then one day, a businessman who'd heard my story about 3 times said, would you come and share your story with my management and salespeople? He said, I've got this little company going. And he said, if you would, I'd be happy to pay you. And I thought, wow. Wouldn't that be something? To share my story and get paid for it? He said, I'd be happy to. So I went and talked with his management and salespeople, and I got paid. Little did I know, another fortune was waiting for me to translate my experience into talks and seminars and speeches. And now it's become a business of its own. And now this business alone takes me around the world. Last year I lectured in Japan and Israel and Spain and Germany and France, and Australia and New Zealand, and Mexico. Incredible. Early part of the year I was in London lecturing. Happened to be lecturing the same night that Pavarotti was appearing in London. So, big dilemma for the people in London. Shall we go see Jim Rohn, or shall we go listen to Pavarotti? Well, I must admit, he did have more people than I did. Like 150,000 more. He did a free concert in Hyde Park, and they expected $250,000, but it rained. And so they only 150,000 showed up. But they did get soaked from Prince Charles on down. They sat in the rain and listened to Pavarotti. I'd have been happy to do that, right? Sit in the rain, listen to Pavarotti. Anyway, he and I have agreed now not to appear in the same city on the same day anymore. No, not really. But gosh, how exciting can it possibly be for a farm boy from Idaho, raised in obscurity, parents of modest means, meet the right person at the right time, willing to share, and those ideas revolutionized my life. So the purpose of my seminar today is to share some of those ideas with you. And I wanted to, first of all, just give you a little briefing about my story. My story is probably more fascinating for me than it is for you, but I wanted to hear it again, so I thought I would just, bore you with it. But anyway, I'm ready to get started now. Let's see how much I can pack into a single day. The centerpiece of all of my lecture series is a 2-day leadership weekend. And if you have a chance, we did the last one here a few months ago, and we won't have another one probably till next year, but 2 days where we have a lot more time to cover a wide variety of subjects. And we don't have time for that today, but let me see how much I can put into just a few hours. Because I want to send you away with something to ponder and think about. And I've got 2 responsibilities to fill, right? One is to make this worth your money, right? You shelled out your hard-earned cash. We want to make sure we get full value for the money we spend. So when you walk away today, I want you to be able to say, it was worth my money.